Hey everyone, I am let's see, I don't even know how to describe myself. I guess I am a mother of four. I work full time. I have a small business, attempting to try YouTube just to showcase everything about my crazy life because why not? I did want to show a little bit of my small business side, which is Polymer clay. I started this off as getting it for my oldest daughter, um, and it kind of became just a thing. She didn't really enjoy it, so I was like, I'm not gonna let this clay go to waste. So I started YouTubing and finding who was the YouTuber that I first watched. It was Creative Rachie. I will have to link her, but I started with her and she makes these cute little figurines, and so I did that. I did like little cats and just little food items. It was really cute. It was fun. But I started doing that, and at the time I had a business. It was more on the crochet side. I kind of phased that out and started doing more clay once I started getting a hang of it. And I did snakes, I did gnomes. I still do those things, but I started doing frogs and I realized people love frogs. People love frogs with hats. I love frogs with hats. Frogs with everything, all colors. So that's mainly what I offer, but I mean, I offer other clay creatures, creations, but the frogs are my main. So I did want to show today me doing one of my popular ones, which is a gentleman sir frog, little top hat and monocle. But he's really easy to do. He's really easy to do, and you kind of get into the motion. I don't know sizes and everything, so it's just going to be like basically just watching me do it. And if it gets noisy, if you hear background noise, I'm sorry, because I'm a mom of four and I have two dogs, and there's no such thing as quiet. So this is life. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys everything that I do. This is just one of them. So I have an Etsy shop which has a ton of stuff, but this is going to be my most popular guide. So yeah, if you have any questions, ask, and I will try and sneak in some text here and there to kind of say what I'm doing. But I hope you enjoy. Maybe make your own frogs. Send me some photos of your frogs, because I love to see it. I love to see it. So I always start off by wiping off my board and my hands with rubbing alcohol. It just gets any like residual like dust off. But if it does get on the clay, you don't worry. You can just wipe it off later or scrape it off. I use Sculpey Primo. I know there's Sculpey 3. I don't like Sculpey 3. It's way too soft for the frog. So I use Primo, and I use this color for a majority of my frogs. It's a 2-ounce block, I believe. So I take half the block, and then I start making my frog with it. So you'll kind of see where I'm going with sizes when I cut. It's not a pure or an exact measurement. It's really just you gotta eyeball it. You want a slightly bigger piece that we're gonna cut in half for 2 legs, if you could see, and then a smaller piece that's gonna end up being 2 little front legs or arms, and those will get cut in half. But if you can kind of see here, it's kind of separated, but these will all get, like the bottom 2 will get cut in half to be legs and arms, and then that large piece on top, that's going to be the body. So we'll cut that in half and then start working on the body part first. Now with the body part, we're just rolling. We're rolling into a ball, kind of getting the clay warm so it's easier to work with, but into a smooth ball. Then you will eventually work it into more of a teardrop shape. And you don't want it too pointy, but like you'll kind of see, but just go with your gut and what you feel is the best, but more like a teardrop kind of shape. Then once you get it into this kind of shape, you'll kind of start molding it into the torso of the frog shape that you want. Sometimes it helps to have a reference picture too while you're doing this, but it's really not that hard. I'm probably making it sound a lot harder than it is. But I kind of mold it on my board, put the head up a little bit, kind of. And also, side note, this would be a lot easier without nails. I kept making little indentations and I kept having to smooth it out. So that's why you see me constantly patting and smoothing. But that's what I'm working with right now. So that's what we're working with. But if you see, you kind of push the back down, you squinch the back part to kind of make a place to put the legs, and then you mush the butt against the, yep, like that, but not too hard. And you can kind of keep reshaping it to kind of get the shape that you want, but that's my ending shape. I take one of the larger pieces that we cut off earlier, I roll it into a ball, and then I will roll it out on my board until a elongated kind of teardrop shape, and then I will fold it, and you'll kind of see how I fold it to make a back leg. Really easy. It's like a little, like an S kind of, sort of, but see, kind of like that. And you'll do that for each leg in the back. So one on there, there'll be one on the other side to get that back leg shape. Now, when you're done rolling these out for the back legs, you're going to place them neatly next to the frog torso to kind of know where you're going to place it, because you're going to want to take your little razor blade and you're going to want to cut a smooth side sort of on right there so it can kind of connect. Not too much. And all these little bits, by the way, I save. I don't know if you noticed the big piles on the front of my board. I save all those because you can use them to make little details. I actually make my little frog keychains out of it. I measure it out on a little scale to 0.5 ounces, and I make little frogs as keychains. But yes, you put these together, the back legs, you smooth them out. This tool will help you smooth out the connection. I'm pretty sure there's a better word than that, but the little connection part, seams, the little seam, there you go. So once you have that done, it should kind of look like that. Now I'll just help it adhere better when you're baking. Then I cut his little toes. Now you can make 3 or 4. I always go with 3. I think I used to start with 4, but somehow it became 3, and that's what we're going with. His little toes, yay! And then next, I always make the eyeball area first before I make the legs, so there's not too much squishing. I use this tool, a ball tool. You can use any size, just depending on what you want the eyeballs. Now, this gentleman, sir, I make his eyeballs a little different than I do my other ones, only because I had to put the monocle over it, so I don't give him like an eyelid. He just has the 2 holes, and then I put little black balls of clay in there, and he's done for his face. Well, his mustache too. So I'll roll out some of the black clay to also do his mustache. But that's about it for his face part. How cute he is. Armless, but adorable. And so now we take those smaller parts that we had in the beginning and we do the same thing that we did with the back leg a little bit. We're rolling it out into a ball like we did the back legs, And we're doing the elongated teardrop kind of shape that we did before. But we are not folding it up like the S. We're kind of leaving this one laid out, and you'll kind of see we'll still cut the flat piece so it connects to the body, but you see, well, no, you can't see because of my hand, but you see right there where it's kind of elongated. We're going to leave it like that because these are just going to be the arms in the front that kind of lay flattish. But yeah, we'll cut the back piece of the little teardrop shape to kind of give it a flatness so it lays better against the body. And then we'll attach them. Again, easier to do if you don't have nails. You won't struggle like me to attach, because I am making all the marks on Mr. Frog right now. But that is okay. So kind of push it into there. We will smooth it. This is my smoothing tool. All right. I use what I can. You don't have to use this. You can use what you have. Also, mine breaks because if I push too hard, it pops out. But I love him so much that I don't want to replace it. I know the moment I do, I'll be unhappy. It won't be the same. So now we're cutting little toes. 3 toes for me again. In the very front. Toes or fingers. And there he is without his hat. So we got to make the hat next. I just used the black clay. You can make your hat whatever color you want. This is your creation. You do what makes you happy. I'm rolling this little bit of clay. I eyeball it into a ball, and then I'm rolling it out into like a cylinder shape, cutting a little bit just so I can flatten it to be like the base of the hat, of the top hat. I'm kind of trying to show you how, you see if you can, yeah, kind of like that. Once again, it's your choice. You can make it thick, you can make it thinner. That's how I make it. I roll it out a little more, just so it's a little thinner of a cylinder, and then I put it at the top, and it's like a little top part. Then we're gonna get some red clay, roll out a strip, and then flatten it. So you'll see me flattening it. I use the back of the razor, but you can use whatever you have. You don't need specific tools to do anything. You just use what you have to create. This is what I use, especially because it's such a small, quick piece. But I do this. I made it a little too thin. It broke off. That's fine, because you know what? That other piece, it ends up being exactly the size I need. So no stressing. And if it wasn't, then we could have just made a new one. It takes 2 seconds. But we'll just wrap it around. Make the little ribbon around the hat. It's not a ribbon. I don't know what it's called, but you get what I'm saying. And the hat will be done. Now, once this is finished, you will see me take that on the top part of my screen, that little white container that's laying down. It is liquid polymer clay, and then I put it on there just to kind of help it stick a little better. And I am squeezing this thing for dear life because this stuff is not cheap. Nothing is cheap. So we're using what we can. But yeah, it helps adhere the hat when he bakes. So this is him. Okay, so this works out perfect. Okay, so tried my best to show. I'm gonna kind of, I hope it helped. If not, just let me know. I'm thinking of making a little PDF with instructions. This is him wet. So with these, you have to put them in the oven. Of course, follow your instructions, because I don't want to be responsible for anyone's ruined project. But I put mine in the oven for 45 minutes at 245. And then after you bake them, I have a couple over here that I have that are going in my shop. So after you bake him, this is what he looks like. Okay. And then I take a little, see, I have a drawer with little things in them. But after you bake them, before you resin, you would take one of these, and I cannot for the life of me remember what they're called. But yeah, these. So you take these and you put it on his, like, let's see, I put it on this side, but you put it on his little eyeball, and then you glaze them. I don't have any glaze, but you can definitely see them in my shop, and I'll insert a picture of a finished one, but he's my most popular guy in my shop. They're all adorable, but he was, I think he was also my first non-regular frog, like one with little personality. So yeah, people tend to like him, but that was my first tutorial. It'll get better. Might do a PDF that'll help. I like a go by. So yeah, any questions, let me know. If you try and make them, let me know. You can be done. Don't worry about sizes. Do not worry about sizes. Do not worry about how much clay here, how much clay this. You kind of have to just go with it. This is just a guide, but you kind of just have to go with it and make them your own. Thank you for watching. I hope you come back for my next one.